probably worked the first time. It was just off.
You broke it.
You fucking.
Well, admittedly, the fucking audio mixer is fucking.
Maybe it's not pushed in all the way.
Now we lost audio. Fucking audio mixer crashed. Oh no!
Take two. Yeah, take two.
That really did sound like take two.
Yeah, definitely was close. Alright, talk.
Hello.
Alright, down and vocals. Rockin' and rollin', baby. What do you think? Give me 1 second. I probably look retarded with the jacket on, but rock and roll, fucking Myles Garrett. Why did you? Why, man? There's like,
We're still live?
yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
there's a level of restraint.
He's not guilty.
He's
Myles
not.
Garrett is not guilty.
He is guilty.
Not.
He is guilty
You
because
hit him.
a crime was committed.
This is a crime. It looks like more like self-defense, sir.
A crime can be committed in self-defense in certain states for certain reasons. And the thing is like, I agree with Max Kellerman in every way, shape, and form.
1,050,000%.
Because, his comments are the fact that, Mason Rudolph started that shit. Mason Rudolph kept the aggression on. Mason Rudolph did multiple things to put himself into a position to get hit, Like, dude, your offensive linemen are already hauling this man off. He's already being yanked off and he's gone. And you're running up there trying to, still talk some shit. Bro, you got hit with the helmet for a fucking reason. But Myles Garrett, it's that Jackie Robinson effect. You got to hold yourself to a higher fucking regard. Because if this man did say some racist ass shit, you go to fucking, at the post game and you tell him, yo, this man said, da da da.
He probably did say some racist ass shit. I feel like Mason Rudolph is low-key racist. He's also a Trump supporter.
From what I heard is that he has a history.
Anti-Jameel Hill.
Yeah. From what I well, I mean, I don't support both of those people, but that's for multiple different reasons. Cap, because I'm a Niner fan, and I fucking never liked him from the get go, and I'm a fucking Alex Smith truther. Still have your jersey, Alex, and I fucking love you, Alex. Always will. I have to. It was either you or fucking Aaron Rodgers, and we made a choice, and I gotta back my Niners up whatever choice they make. So.
That was the wrong choice.
And they made a choice. A choice was made.
So it was the wrong choice. It was just a choice.
A choice. There was a choice. There was a choice made, and a choice was made. That's all I can say. A choice is made, and whether or not I agree with it or not doesn't matter. I fully back the 49ers in every choice that they do make, and that's why we're here. That's why we have 5 rings, and that's why, we've got, the team that we have now, which is the best team in the NFL. So.
A choice. So
Those choices bring us here.
Back on the whole incident yesterday.
But let's take a second and think about how the 49ers are the best team in the NFL.
We're gonna get there.
And everybody just left.
Isn't that crazy?
We're gonna get there. So like Max said, and like you said, and like I say, I low-key victim blame first, but if you look at the whole video, Myles Garrett didn't even tackle him that hard. Like he didn't throw him to the ground.
He body on body.
It looked like he had Myles Garrett had momentum going down,
Yeah.
but he didn't put his weight on him. He didn't.
It was body on body, so it was like his full body on top of Mason Rudolph's body, but it looks worse because Myles Garrett is huge. He's a big guy.
Myles Garrett is 6'4", 270, 275.
So
that's a big boy. So okay, that happens. Myles Garrett gets up, and again, from the looks of the video, it looks like Mason Rudolph says something that pisses him off, takes him off.
and/or kicks him in the nuts.
Oh, he kicked him.
People are saying that he kicked him in the nuts as you could see it in the video that he does kick him in the nuts.
Okay.
Whether or not that factors into it too, like obviously.
Right. After that, Myles Garrett goes down and attacks him basically.
Yeah, because thought that shit get hit.
They get him up. It was DeCastro and I forgot the other line movement. I definitely saw DeCastro. They are pushing Garrett away. At that point, no. Well, before that, the helmet off of Rudolph, blah, blah, blah.
Because Rudolph was trying to tear the helmet off of Garrett and failed. Then he got grown man.
So, at that point, oh my eye, the Castro is now pushing Garrett away. They are trying to resolve whatever's going on. Try not to let that situation escalate. The Castro is pushing Garrett away, blah, blah, blah. Now, at this point, Mason Rudolph, who is
having one of the worst games of his life.
oh, terrible.
One of the worst games.
He had 4 interceptions, 1 touchdown.
Looking like Nathan Peterman, but slightly better.
But Mason Rudolph, who's 6'5", 235 pounds.
That's not bad. That's that's huge.
Guy.
That's pretty big.
Guy. And he decided to go attack the 6'4", 275 pound Myles Garrett.
Most athletic, probably most like built man coming out of the draft for the past like 5 years, maybe.
Fucking freak. Now, what I don't think most of you saw, I saw it. The body issue on Myles Garrett. This motherfucker is big. I'm sorry. I don't care how mad I am, how whatever. I'm not charging a D lineman as a quarterback. 6'5", I'm tall, 235. I got, I'm not small, but I'm not 275. And that man is 275, like damn near.
Like, that's the thing that like really constitutes into it is that even if you are like a tall ass quarterback or a big ass like some sort of built ass quarterback, like maybe Matthew Stafford or something, Cam's probably the most built quarterback. You're not all pure fucking muscle like those linemen are built. Some of them are fat, obviously. That's just part of it. You got the fucking 400-pound fucking lineman who's goddamn in college right now. That's the size of a fucking adult male lion. Like,
big like that.
Shit.
They're also strong.
Dude, there's fucking power. That's their entire job is power. So that's not the guy you fuck with. No. Let alone this guy is crazy enough to fucking bang heads every single play.
Yeah.
Every single play. These guys are fucking dogs. And that's not the man you fuck with.
Nah, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not gonna say Myles Garrett is not in the wrong. He's wrong for what he did. He shouldn't have hit him with the helmet. Maybe suspensions would have been different if he just socked him in the face 5 times.
Honestly, like, I wouldn't even give him a suspension if he just socked him.
If he socked him, they'll hit him. I think if he punched him with
I'm saying, like, if I were, like, the commissioner, I'd be like, nah, fuck that. Like, he was trying to tear his helmet off. So, like, give him a 1-2 Mayweather, 3-4 McGregor, let him know.
I would say if you ripped the helmet off and he punched Rudolph, he would get 1 game and a fine. 1 game suspension with no pay and a fine. Only because he's doing that to a quarterback. And so the NFL is going to see that as a uneven match. Like, I don't know if you remember when Andre Johnson and was that Finnegan?
Cortland Finnegan.
They got into it, but granted, Andre Johnson's huge.
Yeah, that was tall, lengthy. But Cortland Finnegan's short, but
Andre Johnson not. Andre Johnson.
He's lengthy, bro. But he has his old man strength at that time.
Yeah, but that's more of in the eyes of the NFL, that's a more even fight because that's a receiver on the DB, whatever. Like
Is Andre?
Positions match.
Side note: is Andre Johnson the best wide receiver the Houston Texans have ever had, or is D Hop?
Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
At the end of D Hop's career, it'll be D Hop.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Andre Johnson's a fucking dog.
Oh yeah, he was. Pound for pound dog.
But D Hop,
right now,
D Hop is
Andre Johnson, but
D Hop is like a Larry Fitz, but like more athletic and better at route running.
Yeah, and Larry Fitz and D Hop or Larry Fitz and Andre Johnson were always neck and neck.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. At the end of D Hop's career, he will now take the crown, but right now it's Andre Johnson.
How many years did he play? He played like what, 12 years, some shit. Andre Johnson.
I think 12 years for the Texans.
Yeah.
Because he went to Houston and then he went to Indy. Because remember that's when Indy had that 2001 Miami team with like him, Frank Gore, and like someone else.
There's gonna be a lot of names lost in time of these fucking wide receivers that were fantastic. Not even just wide receivers, just players in general. No, that'll never be a name lost in time though, because that's no way. He has records. If you have records, then you'll never be fucking lost in time. Like your name will be on that record book, you know. He played 12 years, all 12 years. Houston, 1 year in Indy, 1 year in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee?
Yeah, he played there
Really?
for 1 year, yeah.
Fucking how many games? 4 games.
Not a lot.
Well,
But yeah, so I don't. Again, when it comes to Myles Garrett, I don't think what he did was right. But if Mason Rudolph would have never came at him, we would not be talking about this right now.
Yeah.
We would just be talking about how Mason Rudolph looks like an idiot and got his damn helmet tore off. That's it. That's all we were talking about.
it's funny too. Like about this is the fact that after it happened, Twitter was crazy because like one half are like, this man needs to be fucking never play football again. Da 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 da. He's a fucking sick menace. The other half is like, man, Mason Rudolph was in his face trying to do this, that, or another. I can't believe that fucking he's not allowed to fucking defend himself. No one was really in the middle. There was very few people who were in the middle and being like, well, you know, if you look at it from both sides, there's a middle point here. There's, he acted in aggression because aggression was thrown at him. So like, he acted as the only way he could to defend himself and da da da. He just took it to a level a little bit past because emotions were high. And like it's funny because a lot of the players, like I still haven't seen one player go like, yeah, like Myles, like he had to defend himself. So far, every player that I've seen is like, that shit doesn't happen, da da da, and they're like not with it.
It's crazy because J.J. Watt just tweeted like something about wow, the intensity, wow. Like he didn't say no.
Yeah, he didn't say it was wrong.
Said, like,
Cause because you could, but you could see it. There's fucking one. It's a rivalry. That's that's there's fucking emotions there.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
2, he's fucking been dogging this man all night in his asshole all night, and then fucking you get to this point where like fucking I gotta put it on Mason Rudolph because he's not really the victim here. Like it's like one of those things where like you go to a club, right, and then like that one dude gets too drunk. He smacks the fucking what's it called? The bouncer. And the bouncer's like, all right, and fucking throws that motherfucker into the street, and he fucking like breaks his arm or some shit. And everyone's like, oh my god, like how could he just toss him? It's like he started that altercation.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid and don't play stupid games because you'll win stupid prizes. Like that's what happened there.
I think the NFL. I don't even think the NFL looked at it in the middle.
No.
I think the NFL just looked.
At-
think they looked
at the
Myles
outcome.
Garrett's size, and they looked at the position Mason Rudolph plays, and their biggest thing is always protect the quarterback. Protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
Screw defense. Fine, let's protect the quarterback.
Fucking
Done the rest of the season, 8 games. He's done for the rest of the season and playoffs.
yeah.
So even if they make the playoffs, he's still gonna
That's
come back.
fucked up. And but they're not gonna make it the playoffs. That's the thing, because
Not anymore.
that's literally one of the crown centerpieces of that entire team. One of the things that has sparked them into that rebuild is Myles Garrett playing that position, playing at the height that he has since entering in the fucking first game.
Yeah.
Like he's been the man for them. And they haven't been able to count on a lot of players. They haven't been able to count on Baker. They haven't been able to count on Jarvis. Odell's been like subpar, but probably because of Baker and stuff. But like in general, they haven't been able to count on anybody. But Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett shows up every game. You know what you're getting from him.
Yeah.
So losing that piece
Is big.
for the rest of the season, like if it was like, all right, regular season, he is fucking suspended. Like, sorry guys, he did what he did. I'm like, damn, like we've got to, guys, we got to get together and we got to get to the playoffs, dude, cuz when we get to the playoffs and we have Myles, oh man, we're going to be nuts. But now it's like, well, shit, like, it looks like we're fucking down our stuff. They just lost their J.J. Watt without an injury ever happening. Like, that's fucked up, like, that's demoralizing to the entire team.
Now I do give Myles Garrett some credit because he knows what he did was wrong. He was like, I should never hit with the helmet, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. He's taken the responsibility of it. He has not once said, I only did it because Mason Rudolph came after me. He hasn't said any of that. So I respect that out of him. But
That's a grown man mentality.
Roger Goodell, Loki fucked up again. In my eyes, he fucked up again.
I think that he's gonna appeal it, and it'll bring it down to 6, 7 games, something like that. That's my hope, or at least I would think. The only thing too that's concerning about the shit is like Mason Rudolph is acting like a punk bitch, like in the press, in the after interviews and whatnot. He's fucking deplorable and da da da. Like it's like, bruh, like you gotta say, you know what? I let it get to a point, or fucking, don't even blame. Fine, fuck it. Don't even blame yourself. You could just be like, oh, you know what? Like, it was an altercation. It is what it is. You guys all saw what happened.
Emotions were high. That's all.
That's it. Like, is what it is. But fucking, instead you're like, he's fucking a bad person and he came after me. Well, you started that shit.
Yeah.
And you know it. Don't be stupid. It's like,
the biggest thing people are saying is Mr. Rudolph going to press charges?
No.
Yeah. People are saying.
All right.
People
So,
are speculating that he's going to press charges.
from what I know legally, is that there is, for assault to happen, there has to be, like when it comes to football, right? Like, so I took a class, and it was, legal studies and whatnot, and they said for assault, and specifically I asked the question about football, because football emotions get high, motherfuckers might sock somebody, like it happens, like, well, say you're playing at the park, right, and you're playing football and and a guy tackles you. Well, that's not assault because that's an assumed risk that you take when you play football.
Yeah.
Is that someone will tackle you, someone might hit you, someone might put their hand in your face to get by you. That's an assumed risk. So you give up those liberties when you play football. An unassumed risk would be someone taking your helmet off and smacking it on your head.
Yeah.
So legally, and especially with the lawyers that they have, there could be a case there.
Yeah.
If he does take this to court, that's some bitch made shit.
Yeah,
like, you're a bitch made if you think that you can take that to court and be like that. Especially when you started that aggression and shit, because that's an altercation, bro.
And
like,
I feel like in court they'll see like
the full. Then they have to break it down. If they do take it to court, they have to take out. They have to take the full film because at the end of the day, if they take it to court, they're getting access to all the film that they have from each of the cameras. They've got the full incident. The full thing. So there's nothing to hide at that point. And Myles Garrett is a popular player. He could be mic'd up.
Yeah.
If he's mic'd up for that game, it might have caught what you said.
Yeah.
So that's something for you to think about. Yeah, if he did. But players aren't mic'd up every game. But I'm just saying because Myles Garrett is a popular player. So fucking, he could have a mic'd up fucking game. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not taking sides.
I'm not taking
Sides.
sides. I'm saying the suspension was too much.
Suspension was a little much.
Especially if you're looking at the entire
4 to 6 games is the range that I'd look at. Because it is something serious. That could kill somebody.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want kids to emulate that shit. And that's kind of been like football's, like the NFL's like new directive is just getting kids into fucking football again and like changing the outlook for like the generations and whatnot because because of all the CTE, because of all the shit that happens in the NFL, all the women beating and the fucking drugs and everything. They want to change their perspective to kids and whatnot and show them that this is a game that you can play in the future and still have fun playing, like so that way they don't lose those players in the future. And for the NFL, I know that they see this incident and they go, we can't have this at all.
I think that's why they jumped the gun.
That's why they jumped the gun.
So bad because they want to make it look like this is not tolerable.
And my PSA is, NFL, we'll always love you. Kids will always love you. That's it. Not you specifically, NFL, but the game of football. The game of football is one of those hollowed sports now. I know it's not international. I know it's not soccer level. But that is still the number one most watched fucking event of the year in North America. Every single time. So, at the end of the day, kids are going to throw the football around. Kids are going to play football. That type of shit, when it happens on the field, that's a fucking freak accident.
Yeah,
that's like a car accident happens, and you're like, nope, now every single, every car is banned. Like, no. We don't have to do that. It's an accident. It can be cleaned up. It won't happen again. And if it does, it's fucking gonna happen like once every 10 years. Like it's not gonna happen all the time. That's an assumed risk.
Yeah. So, speaking of international football and how we're not international, blah blah blah. I was actually in class, and teacher and a couple of my other classmates, we were talking about how the NFL wants to move a team to London.
Yep.
Who would be your top front runner to send to London?
So they've had like a couple of teams that they've like thought about and wanted to do. And there was a couple that I was shocked about seeing in like the paper and whatnot that they were, da da da, like this team might be the London team. So the few names that I've seen, not the ones that I want, but the ones that I've seen, are Jags, Panthers, and then there's one other team, but I can't fucking remember. Jags, Panthers, and somebody else. Those kind of make sense. Like I don't know about the Panthers. Like they've been winning recently the past, couple of years. They've been up and down. So, like, maybe moving a successful team isn't the best route, but maybe, there's not a lot of Panthers fans, especially globally, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
But Jags makes sense. Like, Jags to me, like, there's already a Florida team. There's already fucking,
Miami, Jacksonville, and Tampa Bay. So
There's already, like, 3 Florida teams, so why not take yourself and your, organization that's been failing. They haven't really had a good team in a while, except for that one year where they had a really nice defense with Jalen Ramsey, Telvin Smith, and yep. And it was, that was a nice team, and you guys had a little bit of heat behind you, and that was it.
Yeah,
nothing came of it. So here's the move: take that shit to London, dude. They love you in London. They love the Jags in London. You guys were the first game that was played in London. Jags versus Raiders. First game that we played in London. And you guys won. And London freaked out. They fucking loved you guys.
Yeah. And then I think the next game was Houston and Jacksonville again.
Take that shit to the road, motherfucker. Let's go.
This is what I was thinking.
Real quick, would the NFL change the name? Would it be like...
It wouldn't be Jacksonville Jags.
No. Would the NFL change the name like... Because it wouldn't be National Football League. It'd be International Football League. So the IFL? International Football League, or FL Football League.
Yeah, I feel like they would have to. I feel like they would wait to see if they're actually going to stay.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, because I think the Jags played there this year. I think they played Houston there.
Mm-hmm.
I know Houston played. I don't know. I forgot who they played, but it makes a lot of sense. Good move. Who has the worst fan base in the NFL right now?
It'd be a mixture, like numbers wise. I would say
not who sells the stadium out. Who has the worst fan base?
Chargers.
Why not send them?
Yeah.
I'm
They wouldn't.
Saying, why not?
They wouldn't because one, they moved to LA, then want a new stadium and ... And two,
my thing is why not actually have a fan base? Like if they go to London,
they can get some support.
They have no choice.
Yeah, they have no other choice. Yeah, all of London is backing you.
The Chargers are top tier when it comes to attendance, but what they don't calculate is how much that attendance for the opposing team.
Yeah,
because people literally go to Chargers games to see the
it's
other team.
cheap and you can get to see your team.
That's why. And if they were to move the Chargers now to London, they'll now be a part of the AFC East.
And maybe they get rid of this curse, this bug that's been on them, that's been harming their players. Because the Grim Reaper is on your players. Like that motherfucker is.
So you move them
cutting
to
ACLs.
the East.
Mm.
So that would be the Jets, the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Bills. That would now be the new AFC East. You gotta rotate.
Oh, so you swap?
Now you have in the AFC South, you have Indianapolis, Tennessee. Who else is in the South? Jacksonville and Miami. You have them in the South.
So then Indy's running the game there.
Yeah. So then in the West, now you have the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Texans.
That's a tough division.
So now because Houston's a little more on the west side of Texas, you would now shift Houston into the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
You put Miami in the South, where truthfully they belong. They're more south.
Yeah,
east.
they're as south as you can get.
Put them in the South, send the Chargers to London, and you keep the East all up in that top corner of the states, and then you just have to travel.
But
The
like
only thing is the travel from London.
that is the problem. Yeah, that imagine teams having to fly out there to London. Fucking.
Well, the thing is, if they were smart, if they have, so they would do it to where London is a Sunday night game or a Monday game time.
Well, they have to have a prime time. Everybody gets one prime time.
Yeah, but the time zone thing is just gonna screw them up. So they have that.
Yeah, that's a problem too. Is that
so? If I'm playing in let's say I'm the Raiders, I play Sunday and I play the Chargers the following Sunday. I leave Sunday night after the game, and I go directly to London. I take Sunday and Monday to travel. I would give my players Tuesday to just recover and to get acclimated to the time. Wednesday, Thursday practice, Friday rest day, Saturday or whatever rest film, whatever. Because the biggest thing, you just got to get acclimated to the time.
mm-hmm.
Play your game Sunday. Right after the game, come home. You can't take a day and then try. Literally, the travel time is going to be so. If you leave right after your game on, so let's say you got a 10 o'clock game. If you leave right after your game, you will get there. I don't know the times, but you get there with enough time to get there, sleep, sit down, whatever. Have at least one night's sleep before you start the week, and then you can slowly adjust to the time.
But like,
by the time you adjust, it's game day.
Dude, but that's a bitch to do that shit every single away game. Because like, there's some teams where they have an away game and it's, fucking a drive, a couple hours. Yeah. Get on the team bus. For them, it's a flight every single fucking time. That's a bitch.
That's why you would have to move them to the east, because if you're going from Boston, from New Jersey, New York, whatever you want to call it, or even Buffalo, you're already up there.
I mean, across the pond isn't the problem, or like, because you're gonna have to go across the pond no matter what,
Yeah.
So like, why would it matter if you just spend another hour or two on a plane to get all the way across? Like at that point, add the other hour or two on the plane, to get across the U.S. Like.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they'll have it nonstop and just go straight.
Just fucking.
But
because they have a team playing. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, you have to get time adjusted. I feel like the biggest thing isn't the travel. I'm not saying the travel sucks, but if you manage the traveling correctly, I feel like the biggest thing is going to be the time adjust, which is why I say if you play Sunday and you play the Chargers in London the following Sunday, you leave that Sunday. Unless you have like a primetime night game, you leave early Monday morning.
Does that affect players' mentality to go to that team? Do you think that players will see them and be like, fuck that?
I tell you right now, Phil Rivers is not going to London.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon,
not going to London. Like,
I think that's all.
I think that's kind of the problem.
Phil Rivers because it's London, because Phil Rivers still lives in San Diego now.
Uh-huh.
But I think when it comes to Melvin Gordon, he doesn't trust the owner. Like, I don't think anyone really trusts their owners enough to think they will be taken care of in London.
Yeah.
If they were to go to London.
Like, that's the thing is, like, now we're asking, not only, like, were we asking, hey, like, move across the country, da-da-da, like, this is your whole new life, like, da-da-da, but we'll pay you millions. Now we're saying, yeah, we'll pay you millions, go to a different country. Yeah. Like, whoa. Like, hold on. That's a culture change. It's a culture change to go across the country. Yeah. To go to a different country where the language is different, where everything is different, where fucking, you can't even get fucking a Twinkie, like,
yeah.
That, like... Yeah. That's just a fucking random ass. The first thing I can think of, but fucking like that's a mentality fucker. That fucks you up. Like, to me, there's too many drawbacks to just moving a team to London. That's the only reason why I would fucking like be hesitant to. If none of those were a factor, if fucking say London was just connected, fuck it, yeah, let's do it. Fucking let's get a new area like that. That's awesome. But there's too many drawbacks. Like, there's too many things, and then if that team does bad, they blame it on that. Oh, da-da-da, the fucking should have never done it, da-da-da, big old mistake, and then we have...
I really think the Chargers would be the best move just because...
I'm sticking with Jacksonville.
British people they're very faithful to their teams.
Yeah.
And my teacher made a good point. He was like, yo, we only give them one, then we got one fucking choice.
they like. But it's gonna be
This is your
fucking
team. This is your team.
like for Jacksonville. People still show up to Jacksonville games. Like, you know, if you watch a game, you'll still see their fucking colors being ran. You'll still see fans there. For Chargers, you do not see a lot of Chargers fans at a Charger game. And
it
it's
also depends.
but it's because
it also heavily depends the team.
the team that they face usually
You know, Pittsburgh travels throughout the country.
the Raiders will travel fucking everywhere.
And the
Chiefs
Raiders
fans
always take
are
over.
crazy. They'll
Always
fucking
take over.
travel everywhere. You know, that there are certain teams that do that. The 49ers are now doing that. We used to do that a little bit, and we'd be, you know, it'd be 49er takeover. Now we're taking over whole stadiums. Like, fucking 49er fans are everywhere. There are certain teams that command that type of shit.
Common color. You're just red. It's just a common color.
Look at every single away game that we had, and all the players are saying that shit too. Nick Bosa and all of them are saying, you know, like, we haven't had an away game because fucking 49ers fans show up. We show up like a motherfucker now.
You had an away game when you lost. Wait, did you guys lose?
What?
Seattle?
We lost at home. Yeah, versus
How
Seattle.
does that feel?
And let me talk about the 49ers loss for a second. So the 49ers have lost one game all season. So if anyone wants to give me shit about losing one game, tell me how many games your team's lost. Then let's talk.
2.
Exactly. Very few teams can even step to what we've done. But,
Wait, have we lost 2?
yeah, 2.
Yeah, 2.
The thing is, we lost to the Seattle Seahawks because we had way too many shortcomings, and it's been the same problem for years now. We don't have a wide receiver to count on. We've never had a wide receiver to count on. The only one we ever had to count on was Crabtree. That's the only one. And for the past, 5-6 years, we haven't had a wide receiver to count on. Anquan Bolden, obviously for a little while, but he was always hurt. And he was never he's never been the great. We had him. We had him at the end of his career. So it's kind of different. But we spent for the past 2 years. We spent 2 second-round picks. We spent 2 fourth-round picks, and we spent some later-round picks on wide receivers. Not one of them has panned out the way that we wanted them to. For a while now, for at least 2-3 years, I've been saying let's trade for AJ Green. That was an actual opportunity this year. That was it was possible. Before I was bullshitting because he's one of my favorite wide receivers because he fucking is one of those guys who just throw the ball up and I'm better than these men and I'll get that shit. That's what I want for a wide receiver. I don't want a wide receiver. I don't give a fuck about, if his route running is crisp and da-da-da. Like, that'd be dope, Kyle Shanahan will make the most of that shit for sure, dude. But there are those guys out there that are fucking no-brainers. That are just like, you throw that shit up, I don't give a fuck what your formation is. I don't give a fuck who the fuck is on me. I don't give a fuck. I'm big, bro. Like, no one's going to stop that shit. Those Julio Joneses, those AJ Greens, those D-Hops, those guys who fight at the catch point, those guys who have that length, those guys who are better at getting their body into certain positions than those DBs. Those are the guys to spend the big bucks on because those guys can't be stopped. And Antonio Brown can be stopped. If you play that shit smart, if you have some help side, you can stop that man. A fucking Devontae Adams can be stopped if you fucking play that shit smart. And it's hard as fuck to stop those guys, but they can be stopped. Odell Beckham, he's been fucking non-existent for the past years. Why? Because route running isn't everything. Being better than people physically is everything. People have made their careers off of that. Calvin Johnson made his entire career off of, I'm bigger than you, try me. You need that on your team. That's the type of shit that pushes you to the to superstardom. The Atlanta Falcons went to a Super Bowl off of that shit. Like, there's, and the 49ers have been lacking that for so long. And they were like, you know what? Like, we rolling with who we came with. That's what all the fucking players tweeted. We rolling with who we came with. Fuck that. The people you came with are trash at wide receiver. Everything else is great. Defense, amazing. Fucking everyone's playing their role. People are stepping up when there's injuries. We're doing great, guys. I fucking love that. That defense is awesome. I don't need you guys to get a stop every fucking down. That's not going to fucking happen. But you guys are getting stops on third down when it matters. You guys are getting stops at least a couple times on every single fucking team. Offense, I'm not even mad at you guys it's not even like a thing where, oh, you know, our whole offense is trash. Everyone, because it wasn't a good game by anyone, by any means. Jamie G wasn't looking perfect, but he's, you know, like for me, Jimmy G's always been like I'm happy to have him because he has every trait that you want in a quarterback, but arm talent. You want a quarterback who can take a fucking hit to the chops and be like, all right, let's do this. Next throw, or fucking throws an interception and goes back on the field. He's like, all right, let's do this. Come on, boys. Like he's unfazed God. He's not a game manager. He has no arm talent. He didn't look bad.
He didn't look good.
He didn't look bad.
This is the first time
Anyone saying he looked bad didn't watch the game because he was getting hit out the ass.
Oh, no, but
and
what I'm saying is this is the first time he's had real pressure.
Yeah, like, well, no, we've faced some teams that he's had pressure. Trust me. There's fucking that Jags team that I was talking about earlier. That defense, we faced those guys and dicked them. Telvin Smith hit him for 9 quarterback hits.
That's no Jadeveon Clowney coming off the edge. Clowney had a goddamn
Bruh.
Pro Bowl game.
This is what Jimmy D does best, though. And we still were in a position to win that game. We lost that game by a missed field goal.
Which I can't even blame that kicker for the like. He was a rookie. He made everything before that. He kept going.
He made shit that was longer. He made shit that was shorter.
But
when it came to clutch time, he's fucking shanked it.
Yeah, and I mean, he's never had to hit one of those in
Yeah.
So
fucking, it is what it is.
mad at him, like,
I'm not, but like at the end of the day, you got to go out there and you got to do that shit.
4 before that.
Don't tell me that you can go out there and do that shit. Because if you can't perform when we need you most, and that's when we need you most, then I'll get somebody else. At the end of the day, fuck it. Like who cares if you made every other kick? Because at the end of the day, you missed the one that mattered, and that's it. Like, you know, fucking.
Yeah, but if you wouldn't have hit any of those, y'all he kind of kept y'all in the game.
He didn't.
That's
Like
12 points.
He had 12 points, but if fucking say we had Robbie Gold in, like our fucking regular kicker, he's making that last one. Like he's making that for sure.
He's no Robbie Gold, but the thing is, he did what was needed except that last kick.
No, see, that's what's needed. Is that last kick?
No, because what if he only hit?
So then we had a different game on our hands, and now Jimmy G's playing different, and he's got to throw deeper passes to go get that touchdown, or he'll do da-da-da. Yeah, he doesn't have the best arm, but he can do it. That's the thing is, Jimmy G,
Never seen it.
yeah, look at him and Marquise Goodwin his first year. Like, they fucking connected for a lot of deep passes. When you have guys like Marquise Goodwin, you can make those deep throws because it's easy as fuck. They're going to be wide open if they're schemed well, and that's what Kyle Shanahan does. The only problem with Jimmy G is his arm talent isn't perfect. He gets the ball out faster than anyone else in the NFL. That's why he has he has amazing poise, and he gets the ball out fast. That's why he's a top-tier quarterback in my eyes, because that's all you really need to get that shit going. This dude is unfucking phased. And we had 10 drops in that fucking game. 10 drops is insane. Go fuck yourself if you think you can play quarterback well when 10 people drop the ball, let alone 2 of those drops going for interceptions.
Yeah, there was a lot of drops.
Like, fuck me, dude. Like, at some point, you're like, fuck, can I even trust my wide receivers? And he still trusted his wide receivers the entire time. Threw to Kendrick Bourne multiple times. That motherfucker had butterfingers, bro. Had 4 different drops. Like, my guy, like, any other quarterback would be like, all right, I'm not throwing to you. Like, that's it, you know. You're a body on the field, yeah. But Jimmy G's like, fuck it. Like, I got to trust my boys. If I don't trust them, then, you know, that's an option gone. Jimmy G wasn't perfect. The O-line wasn't perfect. The wide receivers wasn't perfect. The running backs were okay, but we just didn't call upon them. We didn't have Kittle, and we didn't have Emmanuel Sanders. So we lost our 1 and 2 top receivers. He was playing for the first quarter, and he got it. Yeah. And he was out for the whole game. So 3 quarters of football, we didn't have our number 1 and number 2 fucking receiving targets. So the fact that we were even in that game and had multiple opportunities to win that game is disgusting. Versus Mr. MVP this year, man, we made Russell Wilson look stupid in a lot of fucking plays. He was not getting shit going at all.
He had to work.
So fucking the 49ers loss doesn't faze me at all because we can shit on anybody. That was one of the top tier NFL teams in the league. And we lost by a fucking missed field goal.
I just want you to hold this.
Yeah. This is our first win, and I'll hold the L for the first game of the season that we fucking have finally lost. The Saints. Did Drew Brees look great? He didn't look great to me. I don't know. I think Jimmy G had a better game than Drew Brees.
We look like
Atlanta
Top to bottom.
Atlanta had
Fucking
free real estate in Drew Brees' mind. Drew Brees is still dreaming about Atlanta right now. He still has nightmares.
fucking shit.
The funny thing is like y'all lost to a really bad team.
Awful.
How the fuck do you guys go from undefeated while Drew Brees is out to getting that man back and then losing a game?
I think he came back too early.
That's crazy to me. Cause like to me in my mind, like I'm like, damn, dude, like everyone's first thought is, damn, the fucking Saints really went undefeated and now they got Drew Brees back. And then they go and lose, and it's like, I thought
But
you start doing the math in your head, like,
here's
but
the
if
thing.
then Teddy Bridgewater is the truth.
There was a lot of players saying they were going to that game not taking anything serious. Marshawn Lattimore, I want to say he said he came to the game like half-assed.
Well, he's a fool. If you're gonna guard the wide receiver core that fucking Atlanta has, you got to come in A1,
That offense, they're not doing anything.
bruh. That offense can light you up.
They are a talented offensive receiving core. Austin Hooper, Calvin Ridley,
Some of the most talented guys in the league
Matt Ryan when he decides to show
when he
up.
decides to be Matt
Exactly.
Ryan.
But he was just I want to say he said he was going in a real half-ass mentality, and he got beat, he got burned, and unfortunately now he's hurt, and that's what happens when you half-ass sometimes and you get hurt.
And it's crazy because he was literally having like a top 5 year. Like Marshawn was locks. He's always locks, but this year he was doing really well. But now my boys are out here. Quan Williams, I hope you get that Pro Bowl vote. Sherm, hope you get a Pro Bowl vote. So who are your Pro Bowlers? Do they have the list yet?
Nah, I think everyone's still kind of like just voting. Like
We've definitely got our Pro Bowlers out there. We have
obviously you vote for your team.
Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa. That's all I need. Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa. Not rookie. Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa.
Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone else like who would.
Jadeveon only had one good game. Two good games.
What about
His
brother,
week-
Joey? He hasn't had nothing.
No, they have the same stats. What's it called? Nick Bosa has more pressures and hits. So, but they have the same stats, and I think Joey has he has some stat over him. I think it's like tackles. Joey has a lot more tackles than and a lot more. I think like 20 more tackles, some shit. So it's kind of
I'm gonna go with one of the Bosa.
Yeah.
There's not another player I can really think of. Khalil Mack has not had that good.
not had that.
season.
It's
He was my defensive player of the year prediction. Bobby Wagner hasn't really done much.
he got hurt. He got hurt in the last game. Him and KJ.
Like no one's putting themselves on the pedestal to take the honors.
But the rookie Nick Bosa, you out here revolutionizing an entire defense. Admittedly, the plays are being called great. He's getting double team out the ass as a rookie, and it is freeing up our D tackles. Our secondary D tackle always has a free ass matchup. So fucking DeForest needs a double team. You're gonna double team him. Nick Bosa needs a double team. You're gonna double team him. D Ford and fucking whoever else is our rotational D tackle. You could Ronald Blair, fucking DJ Jones, Eric Armstead, Solomon Thomas, whoever we slot in there. That's why they've all been sacking, is because we have too many guys that need a fucking double team. They need fucking attention, and then you get fucking the only plays that Nick Bosa gets an actual fucking sack on are the ones where they're like, all right, we'll try to run this play quick, and we'll throw a running back to just get a quick little block on him, a little chop block, and he just fucking burns that shit. Just fucking burns them faster and then he tackles him. That's it. The only thing is last game, Nick Bosa looked stupid. He looked dumb, and I was visibly upset because it's dude, he's making you look like a rookie right now. You're blowing contain on the one guy in the NFL you don't blow your contain on. Russell Wilson will take you for fucking 20, 30 yards running if you blow your contain. Yeah. And that's how we lost. At the end of the day, he made him look like a rookie, and I'm hoping that it'll never happen again. But time will tell.
Saints we look bad, man. I can't even tell you what it was. We did not look good. We did not look competitive. We did not look like we showed up. We looked look like half of what we are. So I'm hoping this week we come back and we really step up and play some fucking football. I honestly think this loss is the best thing that happened to us.
Like,
We're re-humbled because like we lost to the Rams.
we kind of needed it. Both
I don't
teams.
really think we should have lost to the Rams, but Drew Brees also got hurt that week. A rusty Teddy came in, so there were a lot of factors to that loss. And right in the next week, we blow the doors open. We just march straight down, and just like everyone else, we're thinking we went 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. Imagine how good we're going to be with Drew Brees. No one's going to touch us. And now that I think that we got beat by probably the worst team in our division, we're now going to take a step back and be like, all right, we got to quit fucking around. We got to put our foot on everyone's throat week in and week out. So I love that. And who is your MVP right now?
MVP is kind of hard. Everybody had Russell Wilson. I had Russell Wilson too. Like just literally just recently, but that last game. What? Derry Sanders? I am a known Christian McCaffrey hater. And so for me to say that Derry Sanders would be my MVP is a bit of a stretch because I would have I'm just not a fan of his style of ball. He's an all-around kind of guy. And I just, it's just one of those things where like you have those particular players that you're just like, you know what? I just don't like the way he, runs his routes. I don't like the way he does a thing. It's nothing against that guy. It doesn't mean that he does it bad. He doesn't do it bad in any way. We obviously all know he's great. I don't know. I can't get my head wrapped around. Like, if he was my starting running back, I'd be like, man, like, I'm not happy. Because that's just not my guy. It's just not the guy that I care about at all. It's just one of those things. Like, if I'm building an NFL team, he's not my starting running back.
Either him or Kamara.
I'm going with Kamara. I'm going with Lev Bell. I'm going with Dalvin. Depends on what I'm. Yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. What my team is. Yeah, if like I'm building a certain team, Christian McCaffrey isn't my first pick.
Here's the thing. If you look at McCaffrey's stats.
Also, shout out to Thirst. I'll see you, bro.
If you look at McCaffrey's stats next to LT's 2006 MVP's, he's the stats. He's right there. If you look at McCaffrey's stats next to Chris Johnson's 2000 rushing, he's right there. Granted, Chris Johnson not win MVP that year, as far as I know. I think
CJ2K,
yeah,
but
he just had 2000, but he's right there. So why shouldn't he be there?
because Dalvin Cook is right there too, and he's putting the entire offense on him.
McCaffrey isn't. McCaffrey is that entire offense.
If you lose Dalvin Cook, that team goes straight down. Team goes right down the gutter. He carried them for the first couple games. People were hating Kirk Cousins. People were hating the wide receivers for fucking not having that connection when and Dalvin Cook is still winning them games.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's been that fucking workhorse.
Without McCaffrey,
Josh Allen was the talk of the town.
Kyle
Allen was the talk of the town.
Because who's getting involved with McCaffrey? McCaffrey's averaging damn near 3 touchdowns a game.
Don't they have more? They have fucking more. They have
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was a Pro Bowl receiver.
Don't have to be a Pro Bowl. I mean, fucking
Y'all could use a Pro. You guys have good receivers. Debo Samuel's
good receiver.
Debo good.
3 drops. That's a good receiver.
Players fuck up.
George Kittle don't fuck up.
He not on the field.
You know how many fucking drops George Kittle had last year?
I don't think he had any.
2. You know how many he has this year?
This year he has none.
None.
Here's the thing. Without
Debo had 3 in a game.
Without McCaffrey.
Kendrick had 4.
Without McCaffrey.
Marquise had 2.
Who cares about him? The point is, without McCaffrey.
He had 4 targets.
Without McCaffrey, Panthers aren't winning no more than 2 games. Because you don't have Cam
And without
you don't have McCaffrey.
and without Dalvin Cook, Vikings ain't winning any games. Truth.
No. They still have a receiving core.
A receiving core that didn't get it together whatsoever.
I mean,
Till a couple games ago, and even then
I'm
they
sure
still
they'll
are.
win games.
Adam Thielen hasn't been on the field for 2 weeks.
I trust the Vikings getting it together without Dalvin Cook faster
How many rushing attempts do they have? Because I'm almost certain that Dalvin Cook rushes twice as much as fucking Christian McCaffrey. That's without even looking.
If he rushes twice as much, I would hope he has twice as many yards.
Well, when fucking you get into the game and the defense goes, that man's gonna run. That's a little harder than that man might run, but he also might get a pass ball towards him or fucking anything else because he fucking does a lot. There's a lot of leeway in being that.
McCaffrey, you're like, he's going to get the ball. He's either going to run it, he's going to catch it. Somehow they have to put the ball in his hands.
And if you look at Dalvin Cook, you're saying he's gonna get the ball. They're gonna run it. Eat this man.
This year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has 185 attempts.
So Cook has league-leading 991 rushing yards to go with 10 rushing touchdowns. He also has 40 receptions. That's pretty nice.
So McCaffrey has 989 rushing yards.
So less. And then how many rushing touchdowns?
85 attempts and 11 rushing touchdowns.
11 rushing touchdowns?
Yes.
Not bad. Who have they faced? I'm not a fan of either of these teams, by the way. So it's not like I have.
I'm a Darius Sanders stan.
I'm not a stand for either.
Since Stanford. So McCaffrey has played Green Bay, Tennessee, your San Francisco 49ers.
And how much did he put up against us? He had 100.
117 rushing yards.
He was the first one to do 100.
4 receptions, 38 yards.
Truthfully?
12 receiving touchdowns.
Truthfully, here's the thing. He was the first running back to put up 100 against the 49ers this year, and the only one to do so since.
And you can't even give him
Because Quan Alexander was, ejected out of the game. Or you know what? No, hurt. Ejection was Tampa. But that shit happened. The only reason that man even had 100 yards, 49ers still made him look like a bitch, and that's the MVP. So we faced 2 MVPs, apparently. We faced Mr. MVP Russell Wilson and Mr. MVP McCaffrey. Beat Mr. MVP fucking McCaffrey, and then fucking beat Mr. MVP Mr. McCaffrey. If you're gonna win MVP, you have to be a game decider. Like that's kind of why like I'm okay with MVP going to a person who's on a winning team, because if you're an MVP, you have to be a game decider. You have to be a guy who fucking makes your team win. Who gives a fuck how good you are? Winning is what matters.
Let me continue. So after San Francisco, played Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay shut him down way better than you guys did.
Because they have the best like rushing defense in the league.
Bay, he only had 31 rushing yards and 26 receiving yards, but he had 2 touchdowns.
And we bust that ass open. Let you know that.
Jacksonville, he played, had 176 rushing yards, 61 receiving yards. Houston, now from Tampa Bay to Arizona, he won. So Houston, he won. 93 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 86 receiving yards. Arizona, he had 153 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 35 receiving yards. Tampa Bay again, he only had 37 rushing yards, 16 receiving yards. So Tampa Bay has his number.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay knows that. And then,
But he's not going to face them anymore.
no. And
So
then he played the Rams. In the Rams, he put up 128 yards
the Rams are sorry as fuck. Not even the same. They're third in their division.
and 81 receiving yards.
Admittedly, that division's amazing.
So
In no way, shape, or form is McCaffrey bad. He's one of the best running backs in the game. But he's just not my. He's top 3, yeah. Well, yeah, he's one of the best running backs in the game, yeah. Top 2.
so let's see Dalvin.
So Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, and fucking McCaffrey are the top 3, right? Or is there? I was like, is there some sort of debate?
There's always like Saquon and
Who?
guys.
Yeah, he's hurt right now, right?
He was hurt for a chunk of the year, so we're not talking this year.
So we're missing Saquon. We're missing Lev Bell. Lev Bell is fucking trying to carry an offense that has had nothing.
Dalvin Cook has like 18 more. No, 185 and 203, 15. Yeah, 18 more attempts, and he's only had 2 more rushing yards.
Well, fucking 18 more attempts. How many are against a loaded box? How many are against a loaded box that fucking McCaffrey got? Like,
But
there's different ways to look at this.
Because you can't load the box on McCaffrey, because if they see a box open, they run a screen. McCaffrey's taking that to the house.
Exactly. So, like, fucking how much respect does it garner when you're running against a loaded box every single time and you're putting up those yards? Because they can't stop you. That's how good you are. Is as at running back, you're such a man that they're loading the box against you, and you say, I don't give a fuck.
So McCaffrey Dalvin Cook.
111.
He's got, that was last week. He did 111 last week, and then he did 154 against Green Bay, 110 against Oakland, and he had 35 against the Bears.
The Bears.
132 against the Giants.
41 is Philly.
142
142.
against Detroit. 98 against Washington. 71 against Kansas City. 97 against Dallas. So they're like I said. I mean, McCaffrey's only 2 yards off. So
They're similar, yeah.
Dalvin Cook receiving yards, total receiving yards, 424 on 40 receptions, no touchdowns.
He's not being asked to catch the ball is the thing.
So McCaffrey has 48 receptions on 396 yards with only 3 touchdowns.
So he's beating him in receiving yards? What's up?
By like
Yeah.
50.
He's beating him in receiving yards on less receptions.
Yeah,
That's crazy to me. I don't know. Dalvin Cook, you my go-to for running back of the year.
They're right here.
They're neck and neck. It's all if you like cherry pie or apple pie.
Yeah, it's basically what it is.
Cherry pie or apple pie. I like me some humble pie. And
But I think Dalvin Cook isn't in the MVP talk because Minnesota has Kirk Cousins. Minnesota has Stephon.
you say that like a
Minnesota
plus.
has
Well,
Thielen.
Stephon Diggs is a plus.
Better
Dielen's a plus.
offense. Now, Carolina doesn't have an offense. Their offense is Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's getting more of the looks because it's like when you're playing defense, little white boy in the backfield, number 22, needs to get the ball for them to be successful. If he doesn't have a good game, you can probably beat him. AKA, Tampa Bay's beat him twice. No. They've split, but both times they've split, they've kept McCaffrey under almost 100 total yards. And each time they were in the game because you shut him down. Dalvin Cook, if you shut him down,
They lose.
I'm not saying
They lose.
they lose, but I'm not saying.
That's the thing is like, what was the narrative around the Vikings this year? So far, the only narrative we've seen pop up in sports culture right now is, one, oh, Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen aren't jiving together. Oh no, but they're still winning games. How does that? How do you win games when there's turmoil in your offensive room? Well, you just hand the ball to the one guy who's going to make sure to get it done every single fucking time. And that is Dalvin Cook, ladies and gentlemen. That's the guy who says, I don't give a fuck if these guys aren't getting along. I don't give a fuck if Kirk Cousins, is not throwing the best shit. So fucking Stephon Diggs is mad at him. Or fucking Adam Thielen is not running his routes all the way through because he's fucking. I don't give a fuck. Hand me the ball. That's your job, Kirk. Hand me the ball. I'm going to take that shit. And that's what Dalvin Cook's doing.
Right now, my MVP votes go McCaffrey 1, Lamar 2, Russell 3.
My MVP vote, Lamar 1, Russell 2, Dalvin Cook 3. Dalvin Cook 3. For sure. For sure. For sure. Just wait. Dalvin Cook season. Hashtag Dalvin Cook era. It's just like, I think Lamar Jackson is probably the only one that's been unanimous because and he took down the undefeated Patriots. Why was Lamar Jackson not our first pick? Why was that not the first thing that came to mind? So far,
We have nothing bad to say about it. Like, there's no
there's
argument
gotta
with
be,
that.
yeah.
There's no argument. Like,
He's just been playing out of his mind.
Lamar Jackson.
He had the second best game that Pro Football Focus has ever graded since they've been grading quarterbacks last week. That's the MVP.
Yeah, like there's nothing to talk about. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the league right now. I'll say he's the most dynamic. I don't know. I can't call him the best yet. Because he doesn't throw the ball that much.
See,
But when he
I've got to
does, it's
watch.
accurate.
I've got to watch Lamar Jackson more because I haven't sat down and watched a Ravens game because I particularly hate the Ravens. one of the teams I hate the most. Though I love the players. I fucking love the players. I love Ray. I love Ed Reed. I love fucking Suggs. I love a lot of players. A lot of the classic players who came out of that fucking. I love Mark Ingram. I have you on all my fantasy squads. Every single one. All 3 of them. I love you, Mark Ingram.
He playing great too. But the thing is,
in a fully platonic way, I'm not homosexual at all. I love you, Mark Ingram.
I can't argue against Lamar. That's why I didn't even bring him up because I'm like, dude, there's nothing bad I can say about him. What am I gonna say? He runs too much.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't throw the ball. I feel like he doesn't throw the ball as many times as like Drew Brees and like.
Am I a bad person?
But
am I a bad person for saying that I wouldn't be happy if he was my quarterback? Like if I had to choose a quarterback, he wouldn't be in my top 5 quarterbacks to choose on my team. He wouldn't be my top 5 pick for quarterbacks.
I'm taking.
Would you let Lamar Jackson take your girlfriend or take your daughter on a date? Yeah.
Probably.
Would you let Adam Thielen take your daughter on a date?
I don't know. Right now, Thielen's kind of an asshole.
Would you let?
Show would let Stephon Diggs do shit with my kid.
Yeah, you guys ever see that question or ever? Fucking what's it called? Would you let Stephon Diggs or would you let Adam Thielen take your daughter on a date? Everyone chose Adam Thielen.
Yeah, but Stephon Diggs is an asshole. That's a difference.
Yeah, he's a known asshole,
Yeah,
but he gets his shit done though.
No, but yeah, like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna start a franchise with Lamar Jackson. I feel like he's not there yet. I'm definitely taking the Aaron Rodgers, the Russell Wilsons, the Drew Brees. I can't even think of someone else on top of my head right now. But
Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. Probably shit, dude. Is Lamar Jackson the next one in that line?
unless you say Deshaun, but Deshaun, I feel
Nah,
Deshaun
I like Lamar Jackson way better than Deshaun. Truthfully, I don't know what the hype is around Deshaun, dude.
Deshaun has a better arm.
Dude, the crazy part is,
He has a
does he?
better arm, yeah. He has
Like,
more
does he
accuracy.
though? Like, cause we've seen fucking Lamar Jackson throw some deep balls to fucking Hollywood Brown. We've seen some nice smooth passes from Lamar Jackson, and like the thing is like I've seen a couple breakdowns, Brett Coleman, one of my favorite NFL dudes that I watched all of his videos. He's a Houston Texan fan, and he fucking breaks down like Deshaun Watson every once in a while, and like legit, even after he breaks him down, I'm still like, I'm not sold.
I'm sold on
I'm
him.
not a
I'm
not a
for sure sold on
Deshaun
him.
Watson fan.
You know
I
who
don't
he
know why.
did name? Motherfucking MVP last year.
Fucking yeah, but he's been hurt,
No,
and
I'm
then
just saying, like to start like a franchise with.
I'm not starting a franchise with Mahomes. I don't.
But he's there. He's four.
Is he though?
Yes.
Is he?
I wasn't sold on him until like last year finished, and I was like, yo.
Because I've seen him make some stupid mistakes. I've seen him miss some passes where it's like, dude, if you threw that shit just normal, you would have made that shit multiple times.
Yeah.
So like to me, I think he's got too much of that. Like I'm the shit, because he won that MVP. So he's got too much of that. I'm the shit. I can make a pass like, and I'm just
But
like,
again, like he's there. Who else? I'm not
dude,
saying
there's
Tom.
somebody I'm missing. I'm not saying Tom. I'm not saying. I wouldn't
I'm not
fucking
saying
build.
Phil.
Definitely not saying Phil. What the fuck would I say Phil? Hell no.
I mean,
He's not. He shouldn't even be a starting quarterback.
what? Teddy? Would you say Teddy at this point? Like who else?
Jimmy G. I
I
started.
can't agree with you.
I started a franchise with Jimmy G. That's a man who's got poise in the pocket.
You're only saying that because you're in love with him.
He
He looked good.
he's the best looking quarterback in the world. Have you heard Colin Cow? I hate Colin Cowherd. I don't know how your stance is on Colin Cowherd.
I don't listen to it that much anymore.
I used to fucking like hate myself every time I listened to his fucking show or whatever. Cause like, dude, he's a dickhole, and like some of the takes he has, like it's just nonsensical, And players have put him in his place, And he made the best segment I've ever seen on Jimmy G. And he didn't say Jimmy G, he really has eyes for the fucking da da da, or he goes through his progressions. Great. He didn't say none of that shit. He said Jimmy G has one thing that a lot of players don't have. That's quarterback face. Quarterback face. He's like, that's an actual thing. When you walk onto the field, when someone looks at Jimmy G, they go, oh, hey, that's a quarterback. Like, that is a quarterback. Just by looking at him, he's a quarterback. That helps with confidence. That's why he's able to get in that pocket and throw fucking, whatever he needs to throw and not be phased. That helps just in general. Whatever game he comes into, he knows he's a shit because he looks good. He has quarterback face. That fucking plays into a factor. That's a thing. Quarterbacks are good looking. That's who you want your franchise to be. That's your franchise face. Jimmy G has quarterback face. Listen to Colin Cowherd because he broke it down way better for that quarterback. Dude, I'm telling you, listen to it. It was a great segment, and I loved every second of it because he made sense. And I was like, you know what? I've always loved Jimmy G because, one, he looks amazing, and that's what you want for your franchise. You want your franchise to look great. 2, that man takes fucking shots every fucking game. He pops right back up, and he'll throw a fucking dagger in between 2 fucking defenders. A fucking dagger when he's just about to get hit. And fucking, if they have sure hands like George Kittle, they will fucking catch that shit. Jimmy G is a guy you want your franchise to be surrounded by because he don't give a fuck. He will throw 5 picks and still be like, let's go win this game. You need that. There's some quarterbacks who throw a pick and they're just like, oh, I got fucking trash. Oh, fuck, they get in their head. Jimmy G doesn't get that. He's got the fucking, he's the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. Jimmy G is the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. I love that shit. Put that shit in my veins. Jimmy G is the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. That's it. That's my hashtag Italian Mamba. That's my new shit. Italian Mamba.
Your first Sooners lost his fucking mind. Yeah, I might, but back to the original talk.
My team is the number 1 ranked team in the NFL.
Russell Wilson, Drew Brees.
Jimmy G.
Drew Brees is the younger of the old quarterbacks that can still start a franchise with.
Jimmy G.
Patrick Mahomes.
And then Jimmy G.
And then probably Lamar Jackson.
And probably
Deshaun Watson.
and then Jimmy G.
And Jimmy G.
I'll take it.
7. I'll put him at 7.
7's not bad.
Out of 10, no. 7's not bad. 7's cool.
Jimmy G.
I feel like we're missing someone.
There's someone. I know there's someone. But it's just because we're blanking. Because we don't have it on paper.
Yeah,
But
someone we're definitely missing, but
we've got like Aaron Rodgers and fucking Russell Wilson and all that. It keeps going. And Jimmy G is like right here, like right in that range. He could be very top tier. He just doesn't have the arm talent to do so. But he's got.
he also doesn't have the resume yet.
What do you mean?
He's what? He's on his 2nd year with you guys?
Yeah, but he's only lost 2 games in his entire career. A man has only lost 2 games in his entire career.
Matt Castle's first season, he went 11-5. First season ever, 11-5. Went to the AFC Championship game.
Big Ben did the same shit.
New England Patriots.
Big Ben did the same shit. 15 games. Big Ben. And he went on to win a Super Bowl. 49ers. All I need is 1 Super Bowl out of Jimmy G, and that's it. He was a success. The Jimmy G project is a success if I get 1 Super Bowl.
You should be happy if you go to the division.
Nah, I've been to the division. We've been to the division multiple times. I'm tired of that shit.
With this being
NFC Championship is dog shit. If you win or lose an NFC Championship, you're fucking trash, and it doesn't matter. If you don't win the Super Bowl, shit doesn't matter anymore. I'm tired of it.
I get that.
I can't see my
I'm a
Niners.
fan as well. Championship is nothing, but
3 years in a row that we went to the NFC Championship, lost twice, won once, and we didn't come up with a Super Bowl. That's a failure. That's a flat out failure. And Colin Kaepernick is the reason for that.
I can respect that. Yeah, bro. Lamar, Deshaun, and guess Jimmy, and Pat. Those are the future quarterbacks of the league, bro.
Future
I mean, you're
quarterbacks.
still gonna have your Russell Wilson, your Aaron
See,
Rodgers
but
up there.
the crazy part is, like, this is supposed to be the quarterback era. Like, we have, like, a tons of guys who are bad, but aren't that bad, are they? We have the Marcus Mariotas, the Jameis Winstons, the Baker Mayfields,
We're gonna
the
have to go 5 years forward to look back 5 to 7 to be like, wow. Now that we think about it, we had good quarterbacks. Like,
'cause
even the bad quarterbacks were good.
before, like, before the season started, there was, like, news reports everywhere of this is the golden age of quarterbacks, and it kind of is. Like,
Every team's got a good quarterback.
so
No
being
team has
so
a
like
shitty quarterback.
being on top right now, like, as a quarterback, means everything, because that means you're on top of the top guys.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not like, oh, the fucking like we have fucking Dan Marino or Joe Montana, and it's like, and after that stiff drop offs. Nah, this shit is stacked. So being on top of that stack is some fucking street cred. Russell Wilson, you've been doing this shit for years, dog. I've watched you do this shit for years. So fucking. And Rodgers, this is the second time in your entire career that they've given you a defense. Make it work. You got to make it work, brother.
Yeah, I mean, even Josh Rosen is not bad. Josh Rosen's good. I mean,
Wait till he gets a team.
Yeah, he's technically the
His
shittiest quarterback.
his team is visibly fucking tanking.
Yeah.
And
I mean, look, Josh Allen looks
just
good.
wait.
Sam Darnold looks good.
There's so many quarterbacks that we fucking. Everybody is young. That's crazy part. Jimmy G's the old guy out of those guys.
Kyle looked good. Gardner Minshew came the fuck out of nowhere.
Garner got fucking. There's gotta be some.
Carr looks good.
Yeah.
I think the only team that doesn't have a quarterback is Broncos.
Chargers, Broncos and Chargers.
I mean, Phil sucks, but he's still Phil. He's still doing Phil things. Seattle's good. Arizona's got Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Houston has Deshaun Watson. Indianapolis has Jacoby Brissett.
Dude, this is the golden age of quarterbacks. Not one of those quarterbacks is like
The Saints got
dog
3
shit.
quarterbacks. We got Drew Brees, we got Teddy, we got Taysom.
2 quarterbacks.
3.
The Saints have 2 quarterbacks.
Atlanta got Matt Ryan. I mean, Tampa Bay has Jameis Winston.
And he's bad.
He's bad, but he's
not
like,
bad.
He's got a big arm. He makes.
If you throw Dalvin Cook onto that team is like playoff worthy. Cause then you have a rusher who can do it all himself and win games himself, and then you just need Jameis Winston to go off on the right games.
Literally just like the Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay. The Vikings have Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they're top team.
I mean, Rodgers. Trubisky.
No,
Sucks.
he's probably the worst quarterback of the bunch. That's the sad part. And we, so glad we traded away that opportunity.
Yeah. Kansas City has Mahomes. You got Brady up there. You still got. Yeah, bro. There's a lot of good quarterbacks right now.
It's a quarterback
Even the
league.
worst teams have. It's not like they have a bad quarterback. They have a good quarterback. Maybe they're just missing a bunch of other pieces. Quarterback era, baby.
We just need some wide receivers around here. We just need more wide receivers who are ready to do that.
There's no. I feel like
Ruggs.
I feel like now the receiving core
Needs to be, yeah. Because there's a steep drop off on those top 5 wide receivers, and then below.
It's Julio. It's
D-Hop.
It's Michael Thomas. Mike Evans. I'm putting Mike Evans up there. He has a shitty quarterback.
If we're gonna put Mike Evans up there, I gotta put like Stephon Diggs or Adam Thielen. Like they're just as good as Mike Evans. Stephon Diggs is just as good as Mike Evans. Put Stephon Diggs on another team and watch what Stephon Diggs will do.
Well, I'm putting Thielen up there and Diggs, but after that, who is really there? Oh,
It's a steep drop off. AJ Green.
no, Slayer. Keenan Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Keenan Allen's up there.
Yeah. If he had a better quarterback, then sure.
Yeah, Keenan Allen. We said D-Hop. Would you put Devontae up there? I feel like you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
T.Y.
Does he benefit from having a great quarterback?
Obviously.
Would he do as well on another team?
Possibly. I mean, receivers are very quarterback dependent.
But I guess that's kind of like the whole thing is that there's that drop off after that top 3. Like the obvious top 3 of just Julio, D-Hop, fucking Michael Thomas. After that, there's a steep drop off. Let's get some. You said Mike Evans. Well, the other one would be Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
but he's not in the league, so.
It's really, like you said, it's those 3, and then everyone else is
in that, good.
There's only 3,
You're happy to have him.
There's only 3 receivers in tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 2 has probably like 15.
Chris Godwin.
I don't know if I'm tier 2.
He's like top 5 in receiving yards right now or some shit. Having a great year.
Yeah, there's just that the tier 1 of 3 receivers. receivers after that. Do you have anyone in tier 2? You have a good receiver, but you
Yeah.
don't have an elite.
49ers don't have a receiver till like tier 4, till tier 5. That's where all of our receivers are sitting at. And that's sad. I expected you to do more. Trade deadline was right there. I was waiting on my phone. Had my shit ready. Just fuck it. If you guys weren't gonna make the call, I'll make the call. Give me the power to do so. I'll give this a wide receiver.
I knew you guys were gonna get AJ as soon as he said he wants to stay.
I was hoping for anybody, dude. Like not even just AJ.
So
I'll take fucking.
Would you say a healthy AJ is tier 1?
Yeah.
So he would be the fourth.
Yeah, he's one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Healthy, he would be a tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. That's it. You got anything else?
Nah, fucking. I think we've run our course in the NFL. We stated what we needed to state. We looked at both of our teams. We looked at the recent incident. Honestly, like
This was crazy.
the NFL is wild. Shit changes week to week, and I love it because you've got all these good players right now, offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. People fucking will hate the NFL for not allowing tackles or not, or this shit. But dude, like, it's still a great era of football. We're still seeing a fuck ton of good players. So take it as you will.
By the way, fuck you for beating me last week.
Just know,
It was the
I had this man. This man had me dead to rights,
biggest
back against the wall.
bullshit.
Has 12 points above me in fantasy, and he has Matt Breida still left. I only have one player. The San Francisco 49ers defense.
They put up what, 25?
Dub. Best defense in the league. Best
You beat me by 10. They
best-
put up 24 points.
best team in the league. Best defense in the league.
I
Undisputed.
wouldn't say best team.
Best team in the league.
They don't have a good offense.
Factual. Factual.
They don't have a good offense.
Tell me who's better.
This is.
Nope.
Well, week 14. That's all I'm saying. We will see week 14.
Easy. 20?
Possibly.
20?
That's fine.
20.
Week 14.
Seen it.